Remontada ever entered my dictionary, and it became...
Stop. Okay, I heard it once. That's it. Remontada.
But it became a word in football, right? It became almost a word in the dictionary.
Everyone is starting using it now.
To the point now, even Barca the other day against Atletico Madrid are down 4-0, the word is remontada. Last year, Real Madrid are down to Arsenal, the word in the dressing room is remontada. This is the game that birthed the concept, right?
Yeah, I mean, I always use robbery for this game. Like one word for this game is robbery,
one R versus another.
You know, my guy, every day robbery.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Rematch. I'm your host, Diaz Bouzidi, and today I'm joined by two reluctant guests. I think two guests that, if they had the option, maybe they wouldn't have turned up today. We had to put some invoices under the table for this one, you know, because we are here for one of the most devastating days in their club's history. We are, of course, talking about Paris Saint-Germain 1, Barcelona 6. I'm here, of course, with the fantastic Julien Laurent.
Hello, my friend.
PSG journalist. Good to see you again,
brother.
Thank
you very much. You too, my brother. Thank you very much.
And the brilliant PSG Londoner, content creator and journalist today. They come together.
Yes. Of course, man.
The Avengers.
You know?
There you go.
For a game like this, you need two of us to get
this Iron Man and Captain America. Is this what we're doing? I said, we had to drag them into the studio today because it's, of course, a game that no PSG fan really wants to remember. Despite the fantastic success that they have had of late, capped off by last year's Champions League, this remains a real dark moment in the club's history. And I think a moment that proved to be maybe a turning point in terms of what they wanted to go on and do. Before we talk about the actual game, though, I like to talk about the build-up to this game as well, too. The first leg was so emphatic in such an opposite direction. 4-0 to PSG. Game, set, and match, tie apparently done. What were your thoughts after that first leg? Is it just as simple as go to the Camp Nou, get business done, and get out of here? Or was there always that worry?
No, even I have to say, I don't know about you, but when I watched that game, I remember feeling like Unai Emery masterclass. Really, everything tactically, that Barca didn't exist. Messi was anonymous, Neymar the same. It was just without Thiago Silva as well, who didn't play in that first leg. It was incredible, and to be fair, it could have been more than 4 on the night. And after that, you feel there's so much difference between the two teams. Even if Barca improves, and they were always going to do, they can't surely that we are too good for them. So you go into that second leg feeling confident. However, just before you talk about your experience, I remember the French media and L'Equipe being quite, not negative, maybe negative is a bit too strong, but very cautious. Say, they are so capable. They won this Champions League 2015. Look at all their talent. If there's a team that can do this remontada, it's them. And all of that. And almost like L'Equipe, the national newspaper in France, being against their own team, or like a French team, which is kind of stuff that you expect maybe the Catalan media to do, not so much the French media. Yeah, and that kind of unsettled me a little bit. I don't know about you.
Agreed. From I would add to this, the PSG fan perspective is that back in the days, there was this away goal rule. Yeah. And we kept a clean sheet at the Parc des Princes. So it gave us hope that if they did not manage to score one, if at least we score one at the Camp Nou, that would be okay.
Naturally.
So that's why we were reassured on the second leg. We were like, that's fine. 4-0, we haven't conceded any goal. It should be okay. Even if we squeeze a little one at the end, that's what we thought we would do with Cavani. But so that's why we were definitely potentially overconfident. Yeah.
I just remember Di Maria in that first leg being absolutely incredible. The goal that he scored past Ter Stegen was fantastic. And I mean, I can speak from my own perspective. I thought this game was done. I watched this game just because you're looking at two of the biggest teams in Europe, but at no point in the build-up to this game did I ever think we were going to see what transpired. When you look at the lineups, is there anything that stands out from PSG's lineup in terms of maybe something Unai Emery did differently? Of course, you talked about Thiago Silva returning into the team. Kimpembe was really good in that first leg, but Silva was naturally going to come back in.
Yeah, the captain as well. And the other one really is Di Maria, who was not fit to start the game and was on the bench. In the end, you've got Draxler and Lucas Moura on each side of Cavani, which is not bad. But as you said, yes, Di Maria, that season is a very good season for him to start with. The first leg was outstanding, to the point that if you're a Barca defender and you see him not playing, I think you're happy, really.
Definitely.
But that also happens. But at least he could come on in that second half. But apart from that, defensively, Meunier, Kurzawa as the two fullbacks.
This is weak, mate.
It's weak. But the rest, the midfield is strong. Rabiot, Matuidi, Verratti. Yeah, I would just say Di Maria not starting was probably the only thing.
Yeah. I would have potentially started Sergi, to be fair. I know it's very physical. I think that's potentially the one that I would have started in defense. The rest, there's nothing we can really do in defense. Kimpembe was not available.
No.
What do you want to do? We have the best midfield available, and up front, same. I mean, it's a decent, to be fair, it's a decent side. Yeah. It's a decent side that we have. With the addition of Di Maria, as you said, in the second half. Krikoviak has replaced also...
it was at the end, he brought on from Meunier.
Meunier, exactly. So, I mean, no way you can start Krikoviak in this game, mate. Come on.
I always felt like this was maybe the PSG team that bridged the Zlatan era and the Neymar era. This was the team in between them. And I think even in the league, Monaco won it this season, no?
Yeah, exactly.
So it was a bit of a transition period for PSG. But on the other end, Barcelona really playing with nothing to lose here, right? They're playing with house money. And you look at the lineup and it kind of reflects that. This was a very unorthodox Barcelona selection where Luis Enrique decided to go with 3 center backs and then basically all out attack from there. You're looking at Messi, Neymar, Suarez. He threw in Rakitic playing more on the right. Iniesta, Rafinha. He really went into this game with the idea that we're going to throw the kitchen sink at it. And I think he even came out saying, if they can score 4, we can score 6. He had a quote like that before the game. So I don't think anyone really believed it was going to happen. But at the same time, too, we all did know if anyone could do something, it could be MSN. And I think it was important for both teams to start well this game. It was important for PSG to really control the tempo of this game, but it was really important for Barca to start this game hot. And that's exactly what they did when Suarez scores after 3 minutes. We looked at the goals before, Jules, and you were very critical of Kevin Trapp. And I have to agree. I mean, you're a goalkeeper who can use their hands. Yeah. How are you getting out-jumped?
How can you be out-jumped? By Luis Suarez, who we love as a player, but he's been overweight for a long time in his life, man. And man. He still jumps higher than you with your head. And I'm like, you're the goalkeeper, man. I know you're handsome and you're German and everything you want, but don't be out-jumped by Luis Suarez or
that is shocking. That is shocking. I agree with that. And also, you have to add that the defense was shaky. Yeah, it's not obviously helping the keeper. It's not the best keeper we had, but it was slime.
Talking about the defense, there's something Unai Emery has always said, and I don't know how much he's responsible or not. If it's him, if it's his tactics, the game plan, the players, I'm not sure. But he's always said that Marquinhos and Silva especially played far deeper than what he'd asked already before in the game plan. And it's probably a bit of right. I think we know that Silva especially had the tendency when he was a bit nervous, when the tension was high, to just drop deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah, he has this reputation, isn't it?
Yeah,
where even with Brazil, under pressure, is crumbling.
But we were deep after 5 minutes, which is
exactly
wrong,
especially against these players. Yeah. So 1-0 after 3 minutes. If you guys can cast your mind back to where you were in this game, are you already thinking, uh-oh, or is it still bad start, but come on, we're still in control here? What are you guys thinking at this point?
The problem for me, I was not at the game simply because I hadn't been sent over. So I was watching at home with the kids. And that's the worst thing for a game like this when your kids are also big PSG fans. I don't know about you, but when you're there on your own, you can be angry, you can smash the wall in front of the kids. There's not much bad reaction you can have, no swearing. The wife is checking. And the first goal goes in, and already I can see on the kids' face that it's going to be a long night. And I had that bad feeling after that. Not so much at the start of the game, but after that goal, after 3 minutes, I'm thinking, oh my word.
Here we go again.
Yeah, and I was proven right. So the worst thing for me on that night is the kids' reaction, because they cry their eyes out. I promise you,
shocking.
It was that bad. Yeah.
I was in Paris. I was not in London back in the days. I was living in Ménilmontant, in the 20th district of Paris. I remember watching the game with my wife at home, but I remember downstairs all the bars were packed with fans, which was actually quite original because it was a run of 16, if I'm not mistaken. So for some reason, this game was very popular. There was a lot of fans out there in Paris that were watching the game. And I remember I was watching, there was a delay between the bars downstairs, the TVs.
Oh,
and bro,
that's the worst. So were you behind or ahead?
I was behind.
Oh,
I was
that's
behind.
That's stream.
I was behind.
Yeah,
2 seconds. No. You beat him
on your laptop.
Check his box.
We've been there.
Well, 2 seconds behind. So I was basically spoiled by the guys. And
the whole night you were spoiled.
Bro, I started closing the window. I started closing the window. I refreshed. And then at one point I was synchronized with them and I was like, okay, I'll open the window so I can at least hear the atmosphere outside. And I have to say, when the penalty happened, everything was fine until Cavani scored. When Cavani scored, it was such a relief, obviously. But and flares everywhere in the streets, and I was shouting at my window and stuff. But I ended up crying like everyone, I guess. Yeah.
PSG battled through this game. Barcelona are just hitting them with wave after wave. Naturally, right? They have nothing to lose. And 40 minutes goes, and the second of the game happens. And I think this is always the worst time to concede. Before halftime and immediately after.
Yeah.
40 minutes on the clock. Andres Iniesta, I mean, we know he's manipulative. We know he's very tricky, especially in these tight areas. I always say I feel like he could dribble out of a telephone box. He's that kind of player. But I think he maneuvers himself way too easily. And then it's like a cross, but it's almost deflected. And then Kurzawa almost finds himself just swinging a foot at the ball, no control whatsoever, and flies into the back of the net. And at this point, surely now, alarm bells are starting to ring because not only is there nerves, but it feels like the players are really feeling it, no?
Yeah, and to be fair, before that second goal, between the two goals, there's actually not much there's a free kick from Messi over the bar. Yeah. There's a couple of good crosses and they move the ball well, and they have, I think, 75% of the ball or something.
Real threat.
But yeah, not much. Whereas I think PSG should have had a penalty on a handball by Mascherano.
Yes, that one is a shocker.
I think VAR, that one's being called.
Yeah, I think
1000%.
every day. Like the arm is definitely not in a natural position.
Of course.
So it's not too bad, and then that's a freak show of a goal.
It's a free goal,
if you think Marquinhos should have cleared the ball, Trapp, not sure what he's doing. After being out-jumped, he's like out something else.
Yeah, I know.
Kurzawa, and you're right, when we watched it again, I'm not sure he knows too much about it, but he's probably still should do better. And then you're right, we go 2-0 down, and you think,
this is
good,
potentially
because
happening.
Even just for extra time, 2-0 down, they're halfway there for the 4-0 and taking us to extra time, which at the time, at half time, I'm thinking, okay, the worst we can do here is extra time. I'd never thought we could lose more than 4-0.
And me, I always had on the back of my head, there's always this away goal rule.
If you get one.
Yeah, it's just one, you know? So it's reassuring you a little bit, like, score one, score two. Yeah, you start the clumsiness appearing and you like the faces of the players are starting to be a bit shaky and you're like, that's fine, we can still squeeze another one. You know, we can't double, it's okay. But no one was expecting this, mate. No one.
Talk to me about the third, because we looked at that penalty. How is Thomas Meunier tackling him with his head?
With his head.
I mean, why is he on the ground?
He was trying to swim on the grass.
You know, Neymar has dribbled every defender that's ever lived, right? He's the best dribbler maybe ever. Yeah. There's not a defender. That has to be though. He must have looked down and what are you doing on the ground?
You see that you do this these days on the 5 side to a defender.
Yeah.
You have all the guys on the sideline will be like, oh, yeah. You know what I mean? That was a violation.
What is Meunier doing?
I don't know, man. I mean, I think it was always going to be a tough matchup, right? Neymar in that kind of form against Meunier right back. Maybe you're right. Maybe Aurier would have been better. Certainly in kind of
a little bit more physical. Maybe less speed, but yeah.
But I think Meunier trips himself, really goes down, and then I don't even know because Neymar is by the byline, so it's not even if you don't do anything, he has a massive chance to score. He would have probably squared the ball or something. Right. But I'm not sure the foul really and the way goes like a salmon. He's like that, man. On the
you ever see,
bro,
what
are you doing?
Phil Jones, I love Phil Jones.
That's the one.
There's this image of Phil Jones going on the ground ready to head the ball away.
Yeah.
Meunier, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand, man.
And then it's Messi taking the pen, and obviously there's no other outcome than Messi.
He's not going to miss that one.
Yeah,
for sure.
And all of a sudden it's 3-0. And you're 1 goal away from disaster.
Yeah, man.
And that feeling of dread must just be sinking in. But a lifeline hits. And it is a fantastic lifeline in the form of El Matador, Edison Cavani.
On an assist by?
Kurzawa. So, okay, maybe
he redeemed himself.
We can cut him some slack.
Exactly.
Right? He done well
That's
with the
thing with Kurzawa. He messed it up, but the assist, you're like, okay.
So well-worked goal, by the way. Huh? Nice ball over the top. Kurzawa flicks it brilliantly down, and Cavani, I mean, takes it so well.
So he hit the post just a bit before the cross from the right-hand side by Meunier, getting close. And to be fair,
it was everywhere.
Yeah, after that third goal, PSG responded really well. Where you thought, okay, they're going to crumble now, and it could be a fourth and a fifth. No, actually, we were the better team. And there's that first chance that hits the post, the goal. There's another one for Cavani after that. Still, let's win it up.
Talk to me about that goal, though. And talk to me about Edison Cavani a little bit, I guess, man. Right? He was maybe the one guy in that team that Zlatan left, Neymar hadn't come yet. He was probably your shining light,
no? He was. And it's not always the most clinical.
Yeah.
The first touch was not always the best, right?
Agreed.
But the work ethic was there, the passion that he had for the game. But I think also we were saying that off-air
for the fans.
For the fans, for the
Because there was a question around if we prefer Zlatan or
I remember you saying this. I
answered Cavani.
Yeah.
Because for us fans, the love that he showed for the fans and for the badge is more meaningful than Zlatan is not loyal to any team anywhere. No, exactly.
Even as a United fan who had Cavani for 2 years and even the second year barely even
love
counts.
Cavani.
We feel the same way because he's one of those players that puts so much effort and you can tell like wears his heart on his sleeve. As a fan, you can't help but fall in love with Cavani in some regards. So I definitely hear that.
And he played, he played wide to accommodate Zlatan a lot. He was very much in the shadow of Zlatan too. And then when he played as a centre forward, he scored loads of goals. The celebration was iconic. The song, we were singing the song earlier to the guys in the green room, iconic. My kids had his name and the number because really they just loved what he gave to the team.
One thing about him, I agree, because he wasn't the most clinical.
As well.
You would think for someone who scored that many goals, he'd be clinical. I think he always had. I always remember the game against Arsenal. I was at the Emirates where he missed so many chances.
He was missing a lot of occasions with us as well.
His instincts, right? His nose for goal was one of the best I ever saw. Honestly, he sniffed out. He would create chances sometimes just from his runs. It was incredible.
The goal against Bastia, I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, of course.
One of the greatest goals I've ever seen.
Where he dribbles around the keeper.
And crazy goal.
But I think typical of Cavani, the easiest chances we used to say
he misses.
Would miss. Maybe because he was too confident.
You give him too much time, he overthinks.
Too much time. Maybe he was thinking too much. Shall I go there? Shall I go the other side? But the one on the instinct as a number 9, pure, fantastic.
With his head as well too. Such a good header of the ball. But he gives you a goal that honestly should have killed the night.
This is when we start breathing. We're like, that's fine. It's okay.
I mean, there's 30 minutes left in this game. Barcelona need 3 goals.
And PSG are the better team. By then, PSG are the better team.
It should be over. Yeah. It should be game over. PSG should be going to the quarterfinals against Juve, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah,
I think the gaffer, Luis Enrique did manage the game quite well. Arda Turan went on. It was really impactful. I think. Good. And all the subs that came on, all of them were super impactful, to be fair. So that was wonderful coaching from Luis Enrique. On our end, though, this is when we started to be even more defending, and like when we should have kept the possession of the ball, and we were just started to be scared. Okay, now we need to maintain the scoreline. Let's defend. And even Unai Emery, the coaching of Unai Emery was poor at that time.
I did think it looked like they had lost a bit of hope, to be fair, after the Cavani goal. And you knew that only one moment of genius from somebody in that team that had a lot of geniuses and a lot of talent could make the tie swing again back towards Barcelona. Because right now it was all, it was ours. It was ours. And that is the Neymar free kick.
Let's talk Neymar.
Neymar, man. Neymar. It hurts me to talk about Neymar. Neymar that night is man of the match. Is his game, to be fair. When he decided to turn up, he was already here since the beginning, but starting the free kick, that's it. He knew in his head that he was going to do it. The free kick is immaculate, let's be honest, the way he's kicking the ball and everything he's doing afterwards. Is for me, one of the best performances ever of Neymar, and I think it was pure prime Neymar. In my opinion, prime Neymar was that night, not at PSG after. Prime Neymar was that night.
I mean, it's genius, and it's so interesting, right? Because when you think of Barcelona's greatest nights, when you think of their greatest comebacks, when you think of who's going to inspire Barca to victory, it's always Leo Messi, right? But on this night of nights, the guy who when every Barcelona head was sinking, was the one to pick the team up and get the ball and drive and drive and drive and drive, is Neymar.
Yeah. And I think, to be fair, I think this is maybe the game where he thought, I need to leave Barcelona because I would never have the credit that, and rightly so, because you're playing with the greatest of all time with you. But I think in this game, he felt like I showed the world what I could carry this team, but I will never be able to because Messi will never leave. And that's obviously the summer that follows. He decides to leave, and the rest is history, as we know. But I agree that he's unplayable that night. And like the free kick, the curve on that free kick, it seems like it goes even. I don't know how he did it. But after
it's
that,
it's genius.
Yeah, and after that, he felt really that. Again, the momentum has shifted again, and it's a kick on the back of the head. You said that,
teeth even. I mean, 3 minutes later, Luis Suarez. I have to be honest. I think this shouldn't be called.
This is a violation. This is a fraud in broad daylight. This is a disgrace.
It's a robbery.
This is a disgrace. And everyone knows that if we had VAR at that time, that is shocking.
Yeah.
The ref. Do you know what? We can discuss everything that happened during the game, but that one,
I think
80th minute, you blow the whistle on a pen like this, you kill us. It's over.
Luis Suarez, man, he's never been shy to do whatever it takes to win, right?
He loves doing simulations.
This guy
That's his
After he
thing.
was holding his neck,
Bro,
like
This guy
Come on.
Suarez, he'll throw his mother into a river to win a game,
No,
honestly,
no,
right?
no,
So
he's taking the
it's
piss.
no surprise, but that is shocking. I think with VAR, I always question if you were to go back in time and use VAR for every Champions League, would we have the same winners? Like, how much would change? I think so much would change.
Of course.
Incidents like this kind of
I mean,
prove
you
it.
wouldn't have this show. This show would not exist.
Thank you, VAR. But again, we talk about someone taking responsibility, though, someone taking initiative. And it's, again, a moment where you'd expect Messi to take the ball and take the penalty.
course.
And Neymar is the one grabbing it. That is for me, like, it's remarkable.
He stepped up. That was his pen. Everything that led to this pen was thanks to him. So for me, it makes sense. When he's no shaking, nothing, very calm.
Cool penalty.
And I guess, I mean, we said the masterclass from the referee from start to finish pretty much. But before that, there's the tackle from behind by Mascherano on Di Maria through on goal on the edge of the in the box.
On the 1 versus
That's not
1v1.
given. It's a penalty. It's a red card. I don't know even how Mascherano
You know what it is?
finished that game.
This is peak UEFA Lona, man.
Sneaky
This is
man.
the pinnacle of UEFA Lona.
It was incredible.
Crazy.
And I taken after that, I think for a long time didn't referee again in the Champions League, and rightly so.
Yes.
I don't know what happened, but that was a shocking decision. Even before the penalty was awarded, and after the penalty, it's just a game of like
Defend for
one
your
more,
lives,
one more thing, and who knows, And then they were just hoping for the best, and we were literally. I could not watch the last
too much.
2 minutes or so.
Well, we have to talk about the last 2 minutes.
Rematch is powered by our friends at Betway. Betway is your home for weekly free bets, free spins, and so much more. Don't miss out. Head to Betway today. Bet the responsible way.
The free kick that sealed this game. Neymar initially takes the first free kick.
Again, you would expect Messi to take it.
Again, you're absolutely right. And it's a poor free kick, right? It gets headed away quite comfortably from PSG, but it falls back into the path of Neymar. And I think Neymar does something in this move that is so underappreciated in the concept of this game. So many things get talked about, but I think this moment from Neymar is so crucial because I think so many players would get the ball back on the right and just put it back into the box.
Yeah.
He has the temperament, the skill, and the calmness to fake Verratti, who arguably should do better in that instance, but fake it, get it back onto his weaker left foot, and then dink it into the box with his left foot, perfectly into the path of Sergi Roberto, who finishes. But I just ask myself, how many players on the planet would even take that second touch from Neymar to get out on his left? I don't think many, and I think that just sums up Neymar in this game right there. That's the moment for me that defined his performance. Just genius, and it's honestly complete, what's even the word? It just explodes. The Camp Nou explodes. Barcelona fans are in tears for one reason. PSG are in tears
We
for
are
another.
in tears as well for another reason.
Different reason. History is made. Barca celebrate. Messi is on
crazy.
players' arms. And PSG players fall to their knees and maybe think to themselves, is this ever going to happen for us?
Yeah, it was. It was humiliation, really, and for Sergi Roberto, of all the talent on that pitch,
Why is
you
he
always
him?
think
Yeah.
it's someone like
players.
Roberto.
Sergi
right?
Roberto, man. Come on.
Him, like the
Came on. He
least
was on the
talented
bench
of
at the
them all.
beginning of the game as well.
the least talented of all the 11 that were still on the pitch at that time. For him to score, to be fair, he takes it well. Trapp is gone to get a burger. And I'm like, this is it, right? And again, the kids are crying so much.
What are you
so
doing?
hard.
What are you doing though?
I'm just with them and saying, like, listen,
gonna be okay.
what can you say? They were quite young, the two boys. And I'm so glad that, 2017, 8 years later, they were in Munich like us to see a much better moment. But on the day, there's nothing you can say. They're literally unconsolable. You said that in English? Unconsolable?
Inconsolable.
Just nothing you can do. And the next day, they go to school and they know everybody's going
to take the piss out of
and that's
them.
the worst. And I'm like,
that's the
oh
worst.
my God, I know. But that's part of supporting a football team, But that was tough, man. Tough.
I always find in comebacks like this or in big moments or even in finals, it is never like Messi or Neymar. It's always the player you least expect. So even Liverpool, when they came back against Barca, it's not Salah, it's not Firmino, it's Divock Origi, right?
You're right, absolutely.
Like the Champions League
That's
final
true.
06, it was Belletti. It wasn't Ronaldinho. It's always the guy you never expect.
Yeah.
So I always.
But you know what I also said? I remember thinking, I promise you it's true. I said to the oldest of our children, I said, you know what? This is going to come back to haunt them at some point. And I promise you, I didn't think that Roma could do what they did. But I thought at some point they didn't deserve to go
pay
through.
for this.
They would, exactly. I promise you. I thought.
they paid.
I
for
remember
it a lot,
saying like karma will hit them.
Exactly.
And they haven't
For
won the
this
Champions
one,
League since 2015 anyway. Yeah. But I said to my boys, I said they didn't deserve to be. And at some point you pay for it. Next rounds, I was
That's
like,
it.
come on.
Yeah, this is when the kind of rivalry started as well with them, to be fair, because we also wanted to prove to them that we had the opportunity to proceed with a comeback against them as well in return. So we did this afterwards, but I don't think there's a rivalry between us and Barca anymore, especially after the recent years and the recent victories that we had against them.
Mbappe hat-trick game
Of course.
Yeah,
There's
the one
nothing.
COVID, the one COVID, and then when we went to Montjuic and
Montjuic was a massive.
You got some.
Montjuic for us was a massive relief. Because we did it on their ground. So this is what we needed
before
to.
Araujo went down, and then they had to take off Yamal.
Yeah.
Remember how tight that game was?
Yeah.
You've had some memorable games against them.
Yeah.
What would you say was the most important moment of this game?
For me, the Neymar free kick. More than any other goal. I really felt Cavani had scored. We said that it looked like the momentum had shifted to PSG. Certainly that's how he felt watching on TV, I don't know, in the stadium. And then for him to score for where the free kick is, the angle, everything, the trajectory, the way he bends the ball, is just incredible. And again, I don't know, I don't know, Rakitic could have taken that free kick maybe, or Suarez could have said like, let me try it. But for him to take it and score it, one of the most beautiful free kicks I've ever seen. So for me, that's when really changes for the worst for us and the best for them.
Sam?
I think it's still the 80th minute pen, mate. On Suarez, the inexistent fault on Suarez, I think he changed everything. I know the free kick started to put the hope on the mind of the Barcelona players, but this completely ruined the game on the PSG side, to be fair, for the players. You could potentially hope that you can go. It was extra time back in the days. At 5-5 aggregate. But this killed it. I would potentially mention the Mascherano handball in the beginning of the game. Changes everything, in my opinion.
Maybe if you go 1-1 in this game,
over.
Yeah,
It would be a different story,
one
man.
of the two. Penalties.
One of those two, yeah.
What if, is there a moment in this game, it's like, what if that didn't happen? Maybe it is Mascherano. What if he stays on? What if he gets sent off?
Yeah. I mean, I to this day, I don't want us to be in any trouble legally and
allegedly. This is all
allegedly. I mean, don't worry, go for it.
But yeah, that moment, either the handball or the.
Let me reword that. Amongst the PSG fans, there's a reputation around this referee. I overheard. Allegedly, that the reputation is that this referee is a little bit dodgy, and hence why afterwards, apparently, I heard that he was not refereeing any more UEFA Champions League games. So I don't know what happened.
Allegedly.
No, that's a fact. I'm speaking facts,
if
bro.
There's one moment,
I'm speaking facts. I'm not accusing anyone. I just say.
Some big decisions that went against us. But again, we don't want to sound bitter.
No, exactly.
But no, it's true. But when you watch the game again, even as a neutral,
I looked at it.
You see this, you say that's a robbery, mate. Come on.
It's not.
Obviously.
Was there a moment you'd forgotten from this game that watching back just came back to you?
To be fair, the Cavani goal, I'd forgotten how beautiful the goal is.
Forgot completely as well about the Cavani goal.
Hard.
Completely forgot.
He hit
about
that so well.
It was a nice goal, but
I forgot that he had the chance right before that.
Yes.
That hit the post.
I
forgot about that. Yeah,
it's a tough chance. And I think even if he doesn't go for that ball, Draxler is on his own at the far post for a tap-in. That again could have changed maybe a little bit the kind of destiny of the game.
What do you think was the biggest managerial decision from either coach in this game? You talked about Arda Turan. Maybe that could be the catalyst that really pushed Barca.
I think so. On the Barca side, yes. On the PSG side, the biggest impact from the decision that Neymar'S has taken is that we played defense the entire game, mate. We should have just played our normal game, possession-based game.
Is that easier said in hindsight, though? Like, in hindsight, you can say that, but do you think that if you do...
You cannot
we will never know.
You'll never know. You know what I mean?
We're never gonna know.
Yeah.
Because I do think the way Barca were playing, you try and open up against them. They were all out attack. I think they could very well
not open up. That's not what I'm saying. Not open up, but don't play too low like we did.
Yeah, too much.
Since the beginning, it's too much. And like you're 4-0 up. Yeah, what are you scared of?
That's true. And to be fair, Emery's the first leg we said masterclass tactically, and it felt like either he took the second leg for granted or he didn't prepare it as well. Because it was quite obvious that Luis Enrique was going to try something.
Sure.
Forget the 4-3-3 that they usually played with.
Yeah.
There was always going to be a bit of a curveball from him because they had to go for it anyway. And it didn't really look like Emery was ready for something different from Barca. And we got something different. And PSG too often were all over the place in that game anyway.
100%. Let's talk about legacy here. The question I have written down is who gains the most from a legacy point of view? But I think it's very obvious who does. So I'd rather ask, what did this do for Neymar's legacy? Like, was this the...
So you straight away you mentioned Neymar.
Yeah, because I think we know it is Neymar. This is
Of course, this is his game.
When
That's
I
his
think
game.
of Neymar, I think of this game, right?
Of
And I almost
course.
think like,
Everybody
this is the
1000%.
game where I think people thought, wow, this guy can be the best player in the world. He then obviously goes to PSG. And I think he had some really good times with PSG. I know the overwhelming consensus by most people is going to PSG was a mistake by Neymar. But I'm of the opinion he had some amazing times. And they didn't win the Champions League, but that doesn't make his time a failure there.
He took us to the final.
Yeah.
It was not a failure, but his prime was at Barcelona.
So you think
team.
this game right here is the greatest game of
Prime
Neymar's career?
Neymar, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I think that's the game, like I said earlier, that changes something in his mind, saying, I need to leave here because I would never have the responsibilities that I crave, that I want to win the Ballon d'Or and to go and win all those things. And Messi would always be there, and Suarez probably with him as well, and they're the best mates, etc., etc. And if that game doesn't happen, I'm not sure he leaves that summer
Barcelona,
like he did. To be fair,
you know what? I think you're right here, because whenever I think of this game, obviously the performance that comes to mind is Neymar, but the defining image from this game is Leo Messi being lifted by
of course.
in front of the fans.
That's
the image. And I think that goes back to what you're saying. No matter what Neymar was ever going to do at Barca, it'll always be Messi's team.
Imagine watching this, like, look what he's done for them. And they're doing this to Messi, you're like, fuck off, like, I'm leaving. Man,
children are watching this.
It is what it is, mate. You do this to me.
Oh my God.
Bro.
Don't swear, man. Children are watching this.
We'll believe it out.
That's a violation, man. That is shocking.
I think that's where. And then, I mean, I still felt that he had amazing time with us. He was incredible, and maybe Ligue 1 was too easy for him.
Yeah,
and maybe he took it a bit lightly,
granted.
and some of the showboating were maybe a bit too much.
I just think at PSG, especially under Tuchel, when he was playing almost as a number 10, he reached the level for me.
But without the injuries, the two metatarsals and things like that, I still believe, maybe naively, and maybe because I'm a fan, that we could have won the Champions League with him.
I think so as well, too. I mean, 18-19, for example, when you lost to United, he wasn't there. I think you beat United. There was levels that Neymar hit at PSG that he didn't get the cap off of a Champions League. But I felt at times, I just felt watching Neymar at PSG, I'm watching one of the best players of all time. Like the level of quality that he possessed.
He's been booked many times in the French League because he was dribbling too much.
Which is crazy though, right? Like you're so good.
Rainbow flicks and stuff, yellow.
Like you're so good that you're being penalized for it. It was incredible, man.
Yeah, really amazing.
What about the unsung hero from the game though?
Ter Stegen. Because towards the end, what he's done was a madness. Because he left the goal during the last free kick, and when the ball came back as well, instead of coming back to his own goal, he stayed for long. He took a huge risk, in my opinion, because the counter attack could have happened. And it was done for them, but it stayed. I think it took a huge risk. I'd say that's the one.
That's interesting you say that.
There's a massive save on Cavani as well,
and this as well, 100%.
3-1 to make it 3-2, where then the game will be gone.
Again,
definitely.
So, and I guess Sergi Roberto, just to mention his name again.
Naturally. Who do you think takes the most blame from the losing side? Is it the manager? Is it one of the players?
I mean, Thiago Silva got a lot of stick after.
I definitely remember that, because I think there was a big conversation around Silva after this game that they had won the first leg without you. You came in. I remember, obviously that's so easy to say.
Of course.
But I remember there was a lot of talk around that he came back in the team and they just collapsed. So maybe.
And he had the armband, and he was, like we said, the 2014 World Cup had happened before. And it was not the first time really that he kind of almost froze in a game of this caliber where so much was at stake, and I think it was a bit of the
massive,
of the guy like responsible that people decided that was responsible for it. I think Unai Emery took a lot of stick.
I was about
and
to
after
mention
that,
Unai,
he was never
Unai
going to
Emery,
stay
yeah.
anyway. And he left, that summer. Probably that's the two I would mention.
The gaffer, definitely.
I don't think Emery ever recovered from this, to be honest.
You can't.
Yeah, I know he was given the next year, which, to be honest with you, I was quite surprised about that he survived that season with PSG after losing the league to Monaco. What was the big effect after this game for PSG?
PTSD for fans.
You reckon?
Yeah. PTSD
really
for fans.
The start of because I know you guys, we talked about earlier, right? You had obviously had the PSG tie, the Chelsea tie.
Yes.
2 seasons prior.
But after this, every time we were comfortable and delivering a good performance, we always had this on the back of our heads.
I even think
we were like, we can be 6, 7, 8-0 up because of this.
Yeah.
Traumatized.
Even the
second
players,
leg traumatized.
The players
always shaking.
After, so who were not in this squad, it felt that it was transmitted to them. Yeah. And then when they were in that situation later, like the United game, as you know, obviously, for example, it became shaky, it became tense, it became nervous.
100%.
And then we would collapse again. And you just think, like, when will this end?
Yeah.
And I guess the only way it would have ended was to just go and win the whole thing one day, and then after that you would never talk about it that night. And it took a long time.
But
we finally got there.
Because
I always look at PSG not as a fan, but I'm a fan of the Raptors when it comes to basketball, the Toronto Raptors.
Okay.
And we have a similar story in terms of we always used to go into the season in the playoffs as like a favorite, like, oh, we could do something, it might be our year. And every year we would choke, and it built this narrative.
Like Arsenal in the Premier League, you mean?
Yeah, I mean similar, but also the reason I bring up PSG is because I felt every year you guys had a really good team, but the narrative, even from non-PSG fans, was they're really good, but when it matters the most, they're going to collapse. They're never going to get it done. And as a Raptors fan, I always related to that until we finally got it done in 2019. And I felt that was last season for you guys, right? It always felt like PSG are good, but they just don't have what it takes to get over the edge.
There's this thing now.
Yeah, absolutely.
100% when people come to you and say, you're the favorite, you have an amazing squad. This year you're going to win the Champions League. You're going to do back-to-back because you have Ballon d'Or now in your squad or this and that. Like, we're not going to win anything. I keep saying, even if sometimes I believe that we can do something.
You're like programmed for failure now.
It's not against the evil eye, no. We're going to lose. Yeah, we're gonna get kicked out at the first.
You're programmed to be disappointed.
Yes,
the irony, in a way, in this, which is also, I think, very beautiful, is that the worst night of our history, which is this, more than when we, went down, or I don't know, whatever you want.
Champions League final 2020.
Even that never felt as bad as this night against Barca. Then the manager who inflicted us the worst night of our history is also the manager who gave us the greatest night of our history.
Football's
and Luis Enrique will always be the evil in that night for Barcelona, and then the god for us for delivering the Champions League in Munich in 2025. And that's the beauty, in a way, of football and the irony of this whole club.
I mean, talk to me, because before we recorded, you were telling me about the reception that Enrique received when he became PSG manager, because I don't think this is something a lot of non-PSG fans will really be familiar with. I certainly wasn't.
Yeah.
So amongst PSG fans, you guys weren't too keen on Enrique when he came in?
Yeah, not necessarily, no.
So my dad's family is from Catalonia. So we used to be huge PSG, like Barca fans as well as PSG, if you could have another team, really. Yeah. Until that night. And after that, I hated everything to do with Barcelona. Whoever would play for them, whoever from our family was still going to the Camp Nou regularly and things like that. All the Messi, Suarez, Neymar, I didn't want to hear it, including Luis Enrique. So when he went to our club, especially after, let's say, like a
disappointing spell.
Exactly. A bit underwhelming in a way overall. I was like, nah, I'm not digging it. And he's the face of that Remontada too. He's the guy who implemented it all. And I was not happy. And
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Stockholm of your abuser, man.
Proper Stockholm syndrome.
You're right.
Exactly this. And I mentioned Rafinha joining, and then obviously you had Messi. Oh my God! When Messi joined, I think for me it was not popular. By the way, we mentioned Luis Enrique, but when Messi joined, it was not well accepted by the fans. Huh?
Wow!
No. And then you had Sofa FC online telling you Messi is bigger than your club. Messi is bigger than your club. It's not that he's bigger than my club. It's just that he does not fit in the club, and also the relationship we have with the player is that he cried when he left Barcelona, May. He was crying tears. He does not want to be here. Okay, he wants to play with Neymar, maybe he wants to play with his friend, but this is the type of thing, you're like, you bullied us, you traumatized us, that's okay. keep your players, keep your gaffer.
Is that how you felt about Neymar? Is that how you felt about Neymar as well too? Then, so did you guys never really accept Neymar? Then?
Of course, we accepted Neymar. Of course.
I mean, even Messi. I won't lie. I would lie if I said I was not happy. Man.
It's easy to say in hindsight.
There's this thing on the back of our head that will always be here, man. It is what it is.
I mean, Neymar. I was like, this is a game changer. I really.
He is a game changer. Yeah.
For Messi, it was like you can't say no if the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
Like I remember going from London to Paris for the press conference when he was announced. We had an interview as well, and it was just I could not believe that Leo Messi was sat at the Parc des Princes in the amphitheater in front of me, like literally where producer Blair is. Like this was Messi. I was here, and I was like, is this real? Like, I was at Sochaux when on the last day of the 08 season where a defeat would have sent us to the second division, and now I've got Messi in front of me, and I was really happy. I knew it was never going to work, or to a certain extent. At least,
you knew he wasn't here on his own will. Yeah,
and Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi together.
Yeah,
as
too many egos, man. And Galtier as well, managing this. Come on, he's a guy from Marseille managing this. Come on, what's that?
This was all wrong.
It's crazy.
But still, I wanted to believe that it could work, and the dream was the greatest player of all time was playing for our club.
It's nice. It's nice to have Messi playing for the club.
Rematch is powered by our friends at Betway. Betway is your home for weekly free bets, free spins, and so much more. Don't miss out. Head to Betway today. Bet the responsible way.
We like to ask our guests this when we talk about our old games. Watching this game back, what was the most 2017 thing about this game? Was there something about it that just like, oh yeah, that was very 2017?
No VAR?
No VAR. Yeah, I suppose so.
No VAR. Yeah. Because when we watch this game back, it's all about the refereeing decisions, like what the ref has decided. So if VAR was here, it would have been a game changer, 100%. So very 2017, no VAR. No VAR, yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think that's the best answer.
And no COVID as well.
Yeah,
back in the days.
That's probably the best answer, I guess.
This is very difficult, right? Because whenever we ask our guests to do this, we're typically looking at them reminiscing on a better team than they currently have. So the question we always ask them is, if you could take one player from your old team into this new team, who would you take? So it's very easy for them, right? We just did Man United.
Nice.
Rooney, obviously. With you guys, it's a little different, right? Because you have the best team you've ever had at this current moment, arguably. But if I had to challenge you guys and ask, take one player from this PSG team that has to start in this current one, who would it be?
That's a good one. Go ahead.
I would go for Verratti. I think if you put Verratti,
Marco,
we are all big fans.
I love
Marco Verratti.
And I know that outside of the pitch, he was maybe not the most serious and everything like that.
Him with João Neves and Vitinha, oh my God.
Exactly. I think, imagine Verratti, peak Verratti we're talking. Fit Verratti, peak Verratti, slim Verratti, all of that. In this Luis Enrique kind of mindset, environment, structure, fluidity, with the players that he would have in front of him, like Dembele, Doué, Kvaratskhelia, Barcola, whoever, and the fullbacks that he would have. Imagine how he would just enjoy it. The flex would be so real. He would just ping the ball. It would just be so great. It would be amazing. So I would pick Marco.
Man. I always felt with Verratti that, bar the first few years when it was himself, Thiago Motta, and Matuidi, I think that was the best midfield you had for a while.
I agree.
I think after that, though, he was let down a lot by his partners. I think whether it was Idrissa Gueye or whether it was Herrera or Paredes, I always felt he deserved a better partner next to him. So I can imagine him next to Neves and Vitinha and Ruiz. Come on, man.
I remember, you would remember, and the United obviously did another remontada to us. But the first leg at Old Trafford, when PSG won 2-0, he's a masterclass.
He was running rings around Pogba.
I remember being on BBC Radio on that night of the game and saying, this is a guy who smokes, like literally smokes regularly.
Everyone knows in Paris he's going out and stuff, man.
Goes out. Like there's no...
He's not big, he's not fast.
It's not Cristiano Ronaldo type of lifestyle.
He's Italian, he likes life.
On a night like that, Old Trafford, he just dictated the game and bossed the game. Just
decides to turn up.
It came easy to him.
What a talent.
Legend.
100%.
Legend. You know what? We were watching the squad. I realized Javier Pastore was on the bench.
Oh, you love him.
He left.
I noticed Hatem Ben Arfa, man. That's who I noticed.
I thought he left by that time, Javier Pastore, to be fair. That would be potentially an unpopular opinion, but considering the situation with our goalkeepers at the minute at PSG with Safonov and Lucas Chevalier, let me land. I'd potentially, involved in the squad that we have today. Not necessarily Kevin Trapp, but he's playing for Paris FC. Alphonse Areola.
What's them?
As our first
keeper. You guys
keeper.
are down bad, man.
We have Safono, Chevalier. Give Alphonse Areola another chance. He's still playing Premier League, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I was expecting maybe Silva or Cavani, but we got Areola as the player to come into this PSG team.
No, because up front, listen, that's my
guy.
We'll stick with Verratti.
No, that was a joke. A real one, I'd go with... Up front, we don't need anything up front, Even Cavani... Proper number 9, we do have Gonzalo Ramos that can play kind of the same style.
Yes.
No. I don't see anyone. I love Lucas Moura.
Thiago Silva, no?
Yeah, defense, we need something. Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Thiago Silva replacing Zabarni.
maybe. We're pushing it a bit even.
We have a question here for one sentence summary of the game, but I don't even think you need a sentence. The word is remontada. And I find this word so interesting because I'd never heard this word before. This is the first time the word remontada ever entered my dictionary, and it became...
Stop. Okay, I heard it once. That's it. Remontada.
But it became a word in football, right? It became almost a word in the dictionary.
Everyone is starting using it now.
To the point now, even Barca the other day against Atletico Madrid are down 4-0, and the word is remontada. Last year, Real Madrid are down to Arsenal. The word in the dressing room is remontada. This is the game that birthed the concept, right?
Yeah, I mean, I always use robbery for this game. Like one word for this game is robbery,
one R versus another.
You know, my guy. Every day robbery. Before remontada, but then, of course, I mean, forever, this game, I think, will be remembered to start with. Forever, it will be remembered for the greatest comeback in history of the game.
Is it for you the greatest comeback in history?
At this level.
Better than 3-3 Liverpool Istanbul?
I think... Okay, no, you're right, maybe.
Well,
but then you didn't win. Then you win it on pens, though.
Yeah,
it's different.
It's not exactly
they won the competition.
I guess maybe the Liverpool one because it's semi-final and this is only a last.
I'm talking Istanbul, the final.
Yeah, no, I know.
This is round of 16.
And
then I mean the original one earlier.
I understand. Yeah.
Maybe that. I still think that the drama in this. I still think
crazy.
The whole.
This was scripted. Like this is pure entertainment. Like you have the impression that there was an entire script,
well.
You know?
Yeah. In a way,
Nothing beats the
it's
first.
crazy. Like the true one, because you're right. Istanbul probably counts a bit, but this feels like the original, and it will always be the original.
Do you think you need to lose games like this to win the Champions League 8 years later?
No.
Because
No.
Done without, trust me.
Some people believe though that you need the learning experiences. Like Chelsea,
the experience, yes.
Chelsea went through so many failures in Europe before they won it. City similar.
Sure.
Do you feel the same way about PSG? Maybe not to this extent.
Yeah, exactly. But that's an extreme. But you're right. I think you have to go through adversity as a fan, as a club. I think
not many teams win it on their first attempt.
No, that's very true. This was brutal, bro. This was ugly. This was so painful. Like for weeks. After that, I don't think we could really recover.
No, mate.
And you're right. You know, that some players stayed. Unai stayed a little bit, but you always felt something was just not right.
Yeah.
And as you said, the fact that Monaco won the title that season also showed that this disrupted completely even the second half of the season and probably even a bit of the season after that. Although with Mbappe and Neymar arriving in the summer, kind of mindset changed a bit. But maybe the adversity and moments like that kind of help.
Yeah.
But maybe they don't help too much either.
Not that way. That was a violation, mate. I have to say, they bullied us. Like they took everything from us. Our soul, everything. For years, we were traumatized by this. Obviously, you need the experience. And also with the new project from QSC and the Qatar owners, when they arrived, we were like the young dogs in the competition. Needless to remind you guys that we were created in 1970, so we are babies in this game comparing to the other big clubs. But we need this kind of experience, but not the format, the content, yes, but the way it happened is too violent, mate. Too violent.
But 3 years later, there's a Champions League final, and if you look at Barcelona after this, I know Neymar left, and I know after that. It's more difficult. They go through remontadas that
they did suffer this. Yes,
we mentioned.
100%.
But it was actually after that the kind of the recovery later on, right?
It's only recently that they did really. I mean, you look at Roma, you look at Liverpool, Bayern,
that's bad.
They went through years in the wilderness, and it's only now where the club is starting to be rebuilt, and Yamal is almost the face of it, that they're starting to return.
Yeah, I saw a video of Yamal the other day listening to MHD, Parla de la Champions League. It's gonna sound in this guy. You'll see. We'll sign
him, you'll take. Him, you'll take. Him, you'll accept, even though he's ex-Barca.
That's fine. As long as he's never played for Marseille, I'm good with it.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Come, Lamine, come.
If you could ask one player or manager from either side a question after this game, who would it be and what would the question be?
Wow.
You can ask any player, any coach.
I mean, I would say, but like then I think if I play a game like this, I promise you, I don't know how players, I know they're used to it, I know they're professionals and they're so strong mentally, but I would have kicked everybody, I would have smashed the dressing. I think this, like...
Storm.
Yeah, but we would have literally destroyed the whole dressing room, everything. But I would go to Luis Suarez and said, are you proud of yourself for all the cheating, all the diving, all the this, all of that, in a very bad way. I'm not saying I would be proud of it, but I would go to him like, are you proud?
Gilet's got balls today, I'm telling you, man.
I'm such a bad loser, bro. I would destroy him. Yeah. More seriously, because you don't do that, really. I would really ask Unai Emery,
what happened, man?
What was the game plan? Yeah. And is it really you? Is it the players? I just want to try to understand as much as we could try to understand from a game like this, because maybe there's nothing to understand. Maybe it's just one of those, But maybe try to understand a bit what they tried to do, how they prepared the day before, 2 days before. And if we could find somewhere maybe a few mistakes made that can explain the collapse. I think that would be the best answer. Yeah.
If I could ask a question to a player of the Remontada, I would ask the question that we just discussed. Neymar, how did you feel about this? Like the fan cheering for Messi, you doing the entire thing, well, the dirty work, being everywhere, being the best player in the world.
You do all the work for this,
bro, for everyone,
and then everyone gets an A+.
And then it's Messi.
No, bro, that was a violation. How did you feel about this? Obviously you can feel for him. You can definitely feel for him after this game. So, and also I would ask him, why did he say, while being a PSG player, that his best memory in his football career was the fucking Remontada as well? That is not professional at all. This is a violation for us PSG fans.
We will never be invited again.
I'm sorry, bro. Man. This is a violation. When you're professional and you stand for PSG, and you know that your fans have been traumatized by this game, and they're asking you what's your best football memory ever, and you say Remontada, come on, bro. Come on. And you want to be liked by the fans, you just joined. Don't do this to yourself. Obviously, we're not going to be happy about this.
You can tell he's definitely over it, right?
I know, man. Yeah.
Oh, my God. No, that's not good, man. That's not good at all. For us, it was really painful to hear him say this loud.
He had forgotten about it. And now with this show,
you opened up wounds.
All the wounds are reopening. It's not good for our mental health, this.
This is therapy, though.
Yeah,
this is therapy.
In a way.
It feels like therapy.
Yeah. I feel like a therapist right now.
Yeah. Is it free, though?
This is what happens, man. Dr. Diaz at your service. Let's pretend in the situation like the Remontada never happens and PSG knock out Barcelona. They then go on to play Juventus. Do they beat Juve, or does the fairy tale end there? Because Juve had a very, very strong team that season. Yes. They went to the final that year.
I still think this is the Real Madrid dominance years, right?
This is in the midst of their 3 years.
Yeah, and I still look at these squads, and as much money has been spent over the years since the Qatari took over in 2011, so 6 years before, and I still think this is a bit too short to be the best team in Europe. 100%. You know, and maybe the way they did things, where they thought in 5 years, easy, we can win the Champions League, let's throw a lot of money
with our squad,
a lot of players, but you didn't build this squad properly. I still think that we would have come short at some point. So this hurt obviously massively, but even if we'd won this one, I'm not sure that...
I would take a win against Barca. I would face Juve and lose fair and square to Juve because they're way better than us in this competition and this year as well. But fair and square to Juve, I will be happy with getting kicked out from the competition, but not lose against Barca. You
mentioned that you don't think Neymar joins PSG if they don't win this game. Do you agree as well too?
Yeah, I really believe so. I know I've said it earlier, this is the game that made him and his dad think we will never be kings here anyway. The king will always be, and rightly so in a way. Always be Messi. We have to do our own thing and go somewhere else. And that price, 222 million euros of release clause, there's only one club in the world that can afford him. And that's
the money he got paid as well too.
So if this goes, let's say, finish 2-2 and PSG wins 6-2 on aggregate and Neymar doesn't have that kind of game, I wonder if if he stays a bit longer and say, okay, we need to
prove myself.
2015, they won, MSN, all of that. Maybe that changes also his path to history.
That's a good shout. Yeah.
Is this the best version of Neymar ever? This version, 2016-17 Neymar.
Which version are you comparing this to?
No, just his whole career.
Neymar Santos?
His whole career.
With
Neymar 2015 is pretty amazing.
Treble year.
Yeah, true. Is pretty, to be fair, a bit underappreciated because Suarez and Messi are so good too.
Yeah.
But I think he's pretty undervalued for what he brought on that season.
That season in the Champions League, he became one of the first, if not the very first outright player to score, I think, home and away in the round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinal, and then in the final.
Yeah.
I believe he has that record. It was a crazy run that he went on.
So maybe I would say Neymar 2015, and obviously much younger and, maybe less impatient, let's say, I don't know. But I would say maybe still, I know this game is incredible from him, but maybe overall the Neymar 2015 or 14-15 is better.
Depending if you are looking at from a pure skillful perspective, I think in the French league he was allowed to express himself potentially a little bit more. I'm not going to say the French league was easier or anything. I'm respecting my own league. I'm saying that maybe when he joined PSG, he had to prove himself a little bit more, and he was. I can remember a lot of more rainbow flicks and kicks in there at PSG than at Barcelona. However, I think prime Neymar was Barcelona 100%. 2015 or potentially this year. For sure not at PSG.
I think the best version of Neymar I saw was 2017-18 Neymar, the first year at PSG. I think the first 6 months...
Explain why.
But I think the first 6 months, especially in the Champions League group stage even, where who was he playing? It was like Celtic and Real Madrid.
Yes.
I honestly think he hit an individual level. Obviously, he doesn't have the success in Europe.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm just looking at Neymar in isolation. I'm not looking at what he has.
So Neymar, just him playing and the tricks and
Neymar was that year.
Physically, he was sharp as well.
And I also think this was one of the rare occasions at Barcelona where you were allowed to see Neymar play as like a guy who always gets the ball to him and he controls everything. Because mostly it's Messi doing that, Iniesta. And I think sometimes at Barca, Neymar was really isolated to the left. And he gets the ball on the left, he does his thing, but he's more of an outlet rather than the main guy on the team. I think at PSG, that first 6 months in particular, everything went through him. He had more touches, more dribbles, more passes. I just think, yes, the injury definitely hurt his season. But when he was fit that first 6 months, I think he was just outstanding. And he even finished, I think, third in the Ballon d'Or that year too. So I really love that version of Neymar.
I mean, I have to say, when I watch sometimes, highlight reels of his time at
Paris,
a serve to me or something comes up on social media and I'm watching and there's a lot of tricks that he did that I had forgotten. And I'm watching him and I'm like, wow, this was just, it's blowing my mind how good the flip-flops, the rainbow flicks, the nutmeg for fun, like literally in every way and shape or form, nutmegging people. It was just crazy. And maybe Ligue 1 was too easy, or maybe he's just reached psychologically a turning point in his life. And that's why the injury is a shame.
More freedom.
Exactly.
More freedom,
Off the shadow of Messi.
Yeah, freedom.
In a team that was very much his team because Kylian was young.
Of course.
Cavani, I think, loved having Neymar there. And where he felt like, I can express myself properly. And he went for it. And you're right, those first 6 months, it's just it's a cheat code, man. It's something else.
Yeah.
Do you think this was the best version of Cavani?
No.
I think
Cavani is special. It's very special. I think this could be very close to, I was going to say Di Maria, but Di Maria, Real Madrid had something special, right? When you played in that midfield.
What's the best version of Di Maria? 13, 14.
Because he could do so many things, to a team.
This was a good version of Di Maria as well, too.
Yeah, it was definitely good, to be fair, because he, there was 2-3 seasons in a row where, in terms of assisting and in terms of creativity, it was really the quality of that left foot was special.
I think I agree with you, though. I think maybe the last year at Madrid, wow, really, really good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, maybe Edinson, maybe.
Well, I mean, at Napoli, it was early stages for him, to be fair.
Yeah.
He stayed quite a long time with us. He was the club's top scorer for
this
quite a while.
This was the 1 year
he
had as well, too, where he was the guy. No question about it.
200 goals. When was it? 200 goals? I think it was this season or the season after. I don't remember exactly.
The season after, he was still there, obviously, with Kylian and Neymar. And he broke the record the season after, but he was very much on his way of the record of Pauleta.
100%. I would say best version of Cavani is at PSG. Definitely.
If Neymar never suffers the injuries that we're just talking about right now, what does his time and legacy at PSG look like? What does PSG look like? Do they win a Champions League earlier than this last year? Because there were some really good runs that you guys threatened to go on. I always remember the one where you were eliminated by United and he wasn't there for it. Yeah. Do PSG maybe get over the line a little earlier? Because I think his one real fit season at PSG resulted in the Champions League final.
Yeah, the 2020 in COVID, which is obviously, I know, particular. Yeah, I think if there's no injuries, I think... Again, I need two ifs. I need the first if, no injuries. The second if, no Messi. Because I really think Messi derailed, as great as he is and as great as he was, certainly marketing-wise, to sign him. Yeah. He kind of derailed the whole project to start with. Also, Neymar and Mbappe's, certainly Neymar'S kind of career at the club.
Mbappe ignoring him down the line as well.
Yeah. But if you keep Neymar and Kylian as your, let's say, front two or part of your front three, and then behind that, you build a strong midfield and a strong defense, I think they can go all the way. And I think Neymar then wins the Ballon d'Or.
He deserved it, mate. He deserved it, to be fair. I feel for him a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Ballon d'Or, his career, the way it ended, is...
I think he's one of the best talents to never win it.
Yeah. So frustrating. For him, obviously, but for us fans as well. He deserved the Ballon d'Or. He deserved to win the Champions League with us. For us fans, the image that I have of him is when we lose the Champions League final, is the first one that was like properly in tears or in the squad. He was in tears on the bench. He was crying and crying and crying. And obviously for us fans, we could relate to him being that sad, you know. So I wish he was with us to win that one. Yeah.
I always think his legacy though is more than just trophies. I think more importantly, I think you look at the amount of young players that I speak to and that come out and as well too in general, and just reference him as a huge inspiration to them. Yeah. Yes. I always find from that era, it's Pogba and Neymar. All the young players, they always talk about them being it. But you look at Yamal in terms of his inspiration, the dancing,
we don't have that many players like this anymore.
Desiree Doué reference.
Doué is one of those.
Inspiration.
But now it's only about the stats, only about the trophies, the individual performance. But the beauty of the game, like you mentioned, Yamal is the new version kind of Neymar, but
that's why
we're losing this a little bit.
Maybe Neymar was also the first kind of YouTube.
Definitely.
That's the one. Yeah, of course.
For free, really.
He didn't play in Europe.
So highlights, YouTube access. Highlights. Yeah.
I just remember I remember watching him on YouTube. Seeing this 18-year-old boy, skinny, skin and bones, just making grown men embarrassed. The Mohican, I remember seeing this is the first time I ever saw a footballer on YouTube before in real life. But I think that's his legacy, man. Honestly, the new generation referencing him as what inspired them, that is his legacy being taken shape in the future.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, that's the legacy from Ronaldinho. I'd say the Joga Bonito football that we like, especially at PSG. We have close relationship with Brazilian players in general, the ones that were before him as well. We could always debate if Prime Neymar is better than Prime Ronaldinho, but that's another conversation. But this is the Joga Bonito Neymar. Yeah, it's the legacy, 100%.
Another therapeutic episode here on Rematch. Dr. Lias has come and attended the patients over here. They got it in the end, though. PSG, it all ended okay for them. And of course, we will see if PSG are able to go back to back, which doesn't happen very often in the Champions League. But if anyone has the team to do it, it might just be them. So thank you so much to Julia. Thank you so much to Stuart. Thank you guys so much for being here today on Rematch. Guys, like, share, subscribe, and leave in the comments as well too. What's the next game you want to go and see us return? Maybe a better game for PSG next time. With that being said, I've been your host, Lias Bouzidi. We'll see you very, very soon. Peace.